security forces, but also the capacity of the Afghan government to work out some diplomatic agreement with the Taliban, some form of power sharing in the country. And President Biden, I think, rightly determined that U.S. forces are no longer additive to the pursuit of that outcome. But the U.S. is going to have to remain engaged diplomatically, engaged in providing assistance to the Afghan security forces, engaged in perhaps providing support and even safe haven to some of the people who've worked with us in Afghanistan.
Michael, as the president said himself, Joe Biden is the fourth president to deal with the war in Afghanistan. Here's what he had to say about his conversation with one of his predecessors about this. Watch.
I spoke yesterday with President Bush to inform him of my decision. While he and I have had many disagreements over policy throughout the years, we're absolutely united in our respect and support for the valor, courage, and integrity of the women and men of the United States Armed Forces who served. I'm immensely grateful for the bravery and backbone that they have shown through nearly 2 decades of combat deployments.
How much do presidents in a moment like this, Michael, historically rely on the advice of their predecessors in these particular situations, given the fact that it was President Bush who initially ordered U.S. troops to go into Afghanistan, and so he saw what the initial mission was?
Yeah, I think he talked to President Bush. My guess is that President Bush would have done this differently, but will support what a current president does in foreign policy and military policy, and that runs all the way through American history. Remember, Eamon, Joe Biden is someone who majored in history in college, not a bad thing. He talked in this group of historians who met with him last month about Jay's Treaty. This has been reported. A treaty that George Washington negotiated to make sure we didn't have a ruinous war with England. First time Biden ran for the Senate was 1972. He was arguing that we had been involved in Vietnam for much too long. And as a student of history, I would wager that Joe Biden knows that presidents who keep us out of wars that we don't need and get us out of wars that we don't need are just as honored as presidents who take us into wars that are necessary. Look at Dwight Eisenhower. Got us out of Korea, kept us out of Vietnam, 1954, after the French collapsed.
Yeah, and Michael, as you're talking, we're seeing a powerful moment there of President Joe Biden walking through Section 60 at Arlington National Cemetery. You saw him there in one moment stopping by the headstone there of a soldier, looking down, reflecting on it. A very somber picture. So it's a very telling photo of the sacrifice America has paid over the years in both of these wars. Let's see if the president is going to make any comments. Let's just see here one moment.
These